The first thing I want you to take away from today is this: you will have good days and you'll have bad days, but you will always learn something more or something new, and you will learn more overall on bad days than good days. You will learn more about yourself, you'll learn more about relationships, you'll learn about life and principles, and it'll build your character. If you're a person who wants, let's say, improve on your character of patience, let's say, don't complain when you're waiting in a line. You ain't going to grow in patience until you're put in a place to wait. It's like you go into a gym and, you're walking through the front doors and, you tell your wife or your husband, I'm going to the gym. You go into the gym and you come in 3 feet and you do a U-turn and you ride out, I went to the gym. Ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta go in there, and what are you gonna do? You gotta pick up the weights. And you exercise the muscles that you want to build. I stand before you without arms and legs, but a very strong man because of the bad days in my life. You know how it is. If you didn't go what you've gone through, you wouldn't be who you are today. And I'm not belittling your pain, and don't worry, I've seen pain in my life, and I've seen not only in my life, but people's lives, and people say, well, at least I have no arms, no legs, and then what am I supposed to say? Well, at least I'm not an African orphan who's dying at 4 years old, and I met that person. What about the 10-year-old girl that was bought for $700 in Mumbai and kidnapped as a sex slave to have 350 clients before the age of 13, pregnant at 12, put the baby under the bed while she works on top, abandoned by her family. After she pays her debt of $700 after 3 years with her child, she leaves on the streets of Mumbai hoping for a new life. No family, no job, no food. Her baby needs food. She gets raped, beaten up on the street. She comes back to the only way that she knows how to make money. She goes back to the brothels. She gets pregnant at 15 the second time, and then that child dies, and at 20 years old, she comes up to me. Yes, I have met this woman. She comes up crying. She says, Nick, I just found out I've got HIV/AIDS. And I got fined for being a prostitute. What do you say to that? You may have arms and legs, but unless you know 3 things. Number 1, who are you and what your value is? Number 2, what is your purpose here in life? And number 3, what is your destiny when you're done here? If you don't know the answers of any of those 3 questions, you're more disabled than I.
That's just kind of the way that life works sometimes. It's Murphy's Law. When things go wrong, they always seem to happen at once, and they just compound on top of each other. And it's pretty easy sometimes to feel beaten when you're faced with all those issues and all those problems, and they all hit you at the same time. But let me tell you, that doesn't mean give up. In fact, it means the opposite. It means it's time for you to fight harder, to dig in. It means it's time for you to go on the war path. And that starts with one of the fundamental laws of combat leadership: prioritize and execute. What's the biggest problem? What's causing the most stress? Family? Okay. Sit them down. Explain where you are at. Be blunt, be upfront, and then give them the simple plan of how you're going to get things back on track. Don't sugarcoat it. You give it to them straight. Next, you got some late payments. Call those creditors up. Explain to them what's going on. Set up some kind of a minimum payment plan so you can start making some progress and get them off your back. And then you got your job. Right? You're falling behind at work. Okay, talk to your boss. face it. Tell him that you're going to step up your game. Tell him you're going to be at work early, you're going to be at work late, you're going to be at work during lunch, you're going to be wherever you need to be whenever he needs you to be there. Tell him you're going to get after it. And tell him that you're 100% committed to supporting him and the company and the mission. And then you get started. And I'm going to tell you right now, it won't be easy. It will be hard because life is hard. That's what life is. And these challenges that you face, they're going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them. Stand up, dig in. Line up those problems and confront them. Face them. Fight them. Do not let them bring you down. In fact, let those challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you. Let their demands and their trials make you stronger. Let the adversity you face today turn you into a better person tomorrow. So in the future, you look back at these struggles and you say to them, thank you. You made me better.
Most of us think that our thoughts are our thoughts, and it's just not true. We're unconsciously influenced by so many things in our environment, and then our thoughts get triggered from that. I don't wake up saying, wow, I'm just going to naturally feel good every day. I got 3 hours sleep last night. I don't wake up feeling that way. So today, I flew from the East Coast doing all this media, got here really late. I wake up, first thing, I sit down and I do 10 minutes. 10 minutes to prime myself. Think of it this way, Brian, is that most people have like a highway to stress, a highway to pissed off, a highway to worry. And they got a dirt road, maybe, to happiness. And it's neurological. The more you go into states, like I'm sure you've met people that walk in and they're always pissed off, or they're always worried, right? Or some people think they're funny, but they're not. But they have such a good time, they crack you up too, because they have such a good time. So we prime ourselves to be a certain way. So I do 10 minutes of my philosophy is, if you don't have 10 minutes for yourself, you don't have a life. And it's the first 10 minutes. So what do? I do this physical change with my breath and my body to change my biochemistry, and then I do 3 minutes of just thinking of 3 things that I'm incredibly grateful for, and I step in like I'm there. Why gratitude? Because you can't be angry and grateful simultaneously. You can't be fearful and grateful simultaneously. And anger and fear are what mess people up. So I literally wire myself for it. And I make sure one of the 3 things is something easy, like the wind on my face or the look on my child's face or something. So I don't have to have a mountain of achievement to really feel that gratitude. Then I do 3 minutes of prayer for healing of my own body, my own life, any problem being solved, prayer for those around me, my clients, people. And then I do 3 minutes of what I call my 3 to Thrive, which is what are the 3 things that I'm most committed to achieving that I think will have the most value, and I see and feel them as done. And I say 10 minutes, but it usually feels so good. I go 12, 14, sometimes 18 minutes. But then I'm wired, and by doing it every day, you literally train your nervous system, this is what it's going to be like. And so it's my equivalent of watching the creativity component, or my equivalent of, taking the hot coffee versus the cold coffee. There's 2 types of motivation. There's push and there's pull. If you're trying to push yourself, which is what you're doing with your running right now, I'm glad to see the shoes on and getting you ready for it. But if you're trying to push yourself to run, there are going to be days where you do it, days you're not, right? And you're going to, sometimes you might beat yourself up about it, or, tell yourself you should, but you still don't. If it's pull, there's something out there you want so much. Pull is 100 times more powerful than push, because push wears out. Pull does not. And if you can find a pull that is spiritual, emotional, relationship-based, something that's tied to your identity, where this is who I am, Like, I never have to push myself to get on stage to do 50 hours in a weekend, which is incredibly grueling. I'm pulled to it because I'm made for this. I know this is what I'm made to do and create. I know magic's going to come out of this. So it's not a push. And so it's truly, people say, how do you get yourself to do this all the time? And it's like, I don't get myself to do it. I'm pulled to do it. I don't have I would be lying to say I don't have concerns or fears at times or stresses at times, but I got a 90-second rule. I look at that as suffering, and I'm not a sufferer. So it's like, in order to have those fears, you have to be focused on yourself. You have to obsess about yourself, like, I might fail, I might lose something, I might have less of something, I might never achieve something. And that's what the brain does. So I just don't put up with that crap. You know, it's like, it's not like I'm the superhuman positive guy and don't have bad or tough times. It's just like, I'm an athlete. You know, when you build your muscles and you use them over and over again, they get bigger, and what was hard is now easy. And I believe that psychological muscles, spiritual muscles, emotional muscles, courage is, you don't use it, you lose it. You use it more, it gets stronger. And all of a sudden people will go, wow, how do you do that? You know, I built it like you can build any muscle. You know, faith is a muscle. Unused, it gets weaker, it doesn't get stronger. Passion, unexpressed, wanes.